next session, I want to invite a pretty awesome guy, Colonel Weingold. He's the head of planning, economics, and IT department at MAFAT. I also want to welcome Eran Gefen, the founder of G-Team Strategy. And they're going to talk about wars of tomorrow, preparing for the future of global conflicts.
Hi. Okay. Okay. You want the soft approach, or you want me to grill you? What do you prefer?
I left the sugarcoat home.
Okay. So we'll start soft, just for the opening, and then maybe I'll give you a little bit of a hard time. So, Nir, you're from MAFAT, and my first question, this is the easy question. If you want all of this audience to remember one thing from this 2 days conference and from our session, what do you want them to know? You have a billboard here.
Okay. So, first of all, I would like to thank all the audience for staying here. It's not given, and I really appreciate that. It's hard times for us. And regarding your question, I would like all of you, to remember that startups are crucial to win the learning competition, the arms race, which takes place now all over the world.
Okay. So now for the hard part. But first of all, let's see who are we serving here. So I have a question for you. How many of you are from the investors, VCs side? Please raise your hand. One, two, okay. And from the startups, entrepreneur side? Okay. Let's talk about stages, like seed stage, or very first initial stage, okay. A round, okay. B round, okay. So let's see how we and MAFAT can serve them. So first of all, you talked about like a very high cause, and I guess the people in the audience asking themselves, what's in it for us? What's in it for? How can you help us? So let's start with how do you see MAFAT role to help them in each way, and in which way?
Okay. MAFAT is a connector.
Okay.
MAFAT embraces startups from all over the technologies that you just can imagine. Anything you can imagine is in MAFAT: bioconvergence, artificial intelligence, cyber, new materials, new communication networks, autonomous, robotics, anything you can imagine is more than welcome in MAFAT. And we would like to invite you all the entrepreneurs, to cooperate with us. We would like to invite all the investors to cooperate with us. We have the expertise and the knowledge to understand what are the operational gaps in the battlefield. I can share with you that just before the war embarked, we worked with 200 startups. During the war, 432 days of war, we incorporated and started new relationships with about additional 100 startups, or actually more than 100 startups, because some of them have already grown to become more than startups, more than small companies, and now they are considered as medium startups, or medium companies, exactly.
Okay. And if I'm a startup or investor and I'm a little bit hesitate, saying like maybe you are hard, maybe there is a friction, a lot of bureaucracy and other perception, do you think I'm right, or you can say maybe it's a different...
You are right. First of all, you're right.
Yeah, right.
Most of the time you're right.
Okay.
We know enough time that I can tell you are right. But we are aware of the hurdles and we are doing our best to cut the red tape, to streamline processes, to become quicker and more accessible. We are in a new era of need for speed, and startups are just like steroids for bodybuilders. They make us faster, and we are trying to do our best to act fast, to be more accessible, and to collaborate successfully.
Okay, so I asked raise your hand from investors, startups, and so on. So let's talk for each audience and say how can MAFAT help them. So let's start with the investors. So I will be the investor. Listen, I want to earn money. I want to double my earnings. I want to invest smart, and I'm a little bit afraid. There is a new field. It looks very good, but I'm a little bit hesitating. And what kind of help MAFAT can do to give me more assurance in this market?
I will not provide any assurances.
Okay.
But I can share with you that defense tech is on the rise, and it is not only locally, it is a globally phenomenon. We see the tensions all over the world. We see the war between Russia and Ukraine. We see our area, and we see the dynamism of all the forces from one side to another side. And we know that defense tech is relevant. Defense tech incorporates in itself deep tech, new technologies, cyber, of course, and many more applications and technologies. And we can say for everyone that most of the technologies are relevant, and we will do our best to attract the best of the breed startups, entrepreneurs, and to incorporate them into operational capabilities.
Okay, so let's say I am a VC or big private investors. How can we work together? What is the flow of working or programs that we can, you said you are like a connectors, so let's connect. How?
These days we developed with our legal advisor in the Ministry of Defense formal frameworks, some kind of MOUs, which are non-binding and non-exclusive. Okay. And we share information through these vehicles. We share information regarding operational focuses, technological focuses, and startup that we already work with them. And we provide a lot of information. We want them to grow. We want them to be stronger and more stable, and to continue to success together.
Okay, can you help me with G2G? And I ask a little bit elaborate about this, because if I'm investors, I don't want only the Israeli market, which is nice. I have big dreams. I have a startup. I want help. Which kind of help you can help me to take us to like other governments?
Maybe you will tell the audience what is G2G.
Sorry. So G2G, government to government. I want you to take me to the North America, to Europe, to other governments, and open me markets.
MAFAT is also responsible for international frameworks for mutual development. So the answer is, of course, we support startups, we promote startups.
Give me example. Can you have example? Even without the government, just for me to understand.
I will not disclose the exact startup,
okay,
but I can tell you that in the last 2 days, there were some press releases about startups which signed some deals with foreign countries. We are involved in it, and we will keep on doing it and promote startups to these kind of frameworks.
Okay, and it's, by the way, do you see it only defense tech startups, or also if I'm investor of, let's say, technology in the cloud, something that it's not in defense tech, is also relevant?
We believe that most of the technologies can be incorporated into the battlefield. I think that the world nowadays understands that especially deep tech can have defense applications. So yes, the answer is yes. you can be in cloud, you can be in quantum machines, you can be in the medical areas, and if it's relevant to the battlefield, if it's relevant for defense purposes, we will hug you, and we will run this marathon together.
What about IP? Like I heard a little bit of investors, and they talked about the IP thing, like the concern about IP. Do you have any solution for that?
We developed some kind of new startup agreements,
Okay.
again with the legal advisors of the Ministry of Defense. We do not claim for IP. We do not claim for equity. We work with startups, and most of the things are negotiable.
Okay, this is nice. Any question from investor or VC before we are moving to startups? Okay, think about it. Maybe we'll have a question in the end. So let's talk about the other side, the entrepreneurs, the startups. So let's start from early stage. Which kind of programs do you have to offer to connect with early stage new startups?
During 2019, just before the COVID, we opened our accelerator program or innovation program, which named Innofence, and it is operated by SOSA and IHLS. We publish to the public operational challenges and invite them to suggest some technologies and solutions to the operational gaps. You can find it on the web. And we run cohorts of acceleration program and promote these startups or these teams which take part in these accelerating programs. Innofence is a very successful acceleration program. The success rates are more than 50%.
Wow.
And with more than half of the startups.
How many? Dozens?
Till now, we have approximately 60 alumni, and about 10% of them have already deployed operational capabilities during Swords of Iron.
Okay. And if I'm going to this program, what I'm getting?
If you get into this program, you will get $50,000 grant. You do not obligate for anything. We do not claim for IP. We do not claim for equity. But in the end of the 12 weeks of program, we expect you to demonstrate some kind of proof of concept.
Got it. And you will find me the customer inside the army or other security body. You will help me with that also?
Yes, of course. We will connect you with design partners. We will connect you with the operational forces. You will get a deeply understanding of the operational gaps and the operational needs.
Okay, sounds good. Let's talk about a little bit more matures. We saw here like great companies, great startups. How can you help to them, and what do you think their main challenge right now? A little bit more mature companies that have, let's say, a VC on the board. Let's start with the defense startups or dual-use startups.
Okay. We already cooperate with some of the VCs here, and we share with them some of the information regarding all the startups and medium companies that are looking for investments, so we can direct these VCs to the investments they are looking for. We can share with the investors that we have some successful technology in that or that startup, and from then on, they will continue together and negotiate between themselves. We also will take them to foreign countries where we have joint working groups, and we can incorporate them into these international frameworks. This is exactly the government-to-government agreement you just mentioned before.
And also, what is their main challenges? Because you're seeing a lot of a little bit more mature startups, A round, maybe B round. Do you have advice for them? some knowledge that will help them move forward?
Yeah, take
What?
advices from good lawyers.
From?
From good lawyers.
Okay.
Yeah. Legal advisors are crucial to the success of startups or even medium companies.
Interesting.
You need to gain export license. You need to consult with the experts. You need to do all the right things. Just like when you purchase an apartment, you will get a legal advisor. That's exactly the same here.
Yeah.
You will not do that by yourself.
Can you give me like an example, something that maybe touched you as we started with the meaning. You said, well, I asked you why it's important, and you said why it's important. So can you share as a case study from this war of a startup that went into battlefield or scale very fast with you and with the...
Yeah, some of the startups have already demonstrated some of their capacities here during the Defense Tech Summit. We can mention Extend, we can mention Gefen, we can mention Spear UAV. They are all awesome. They are all deployed the operational capabilities during the war.
Yeah.
They continue their advance and they made huge programs till now. And we will continue to hug them and to work with them.
Give me one specific example that maybe touched you as a person.
Touch me as a person. There are many startups who deployed AI capabilities regarding our hostages. Once you gain this information and it supports many operations, and we gain some success during these operations, it is very touching and it's exciting. And you know that you did something meaningful.
Yeah, so it's a perfect ending because we need to end. By the way, you said you are, as a body, you are a connector, so how can we connect with you? Like, what's the...
I think the QR code is over there.
There is QR?
Yeah.
What is this QR? It's QR for what?
I think it's for my contact. I hope so.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure, so tell us what it... Thank you. Yes? It's the newsletter, okay.
So it is even better. Yeah.
We need to finish, but any question from the audience? Let me see if I understood and help maybe because it's hard to hear. You're talking about the IPO, like taking like to the full moonshot, yes? Yeah. Do you think that we will see the potential more IPOs, more startups that will do the entire cycle? Not the potential.
I really don't think we have enough experience to know exactly the pros and cons. You can take a look about Unreal in the US. There are pros and cons why they don't go to IPO yet. I believe that in some stage they will go to. Why? I'm not an expert for that, and I really don't know what is the thought behind the exact date or timing, the right timing to go to IPO. I can tell you something else. We are in a different era, as I mentioned. It is a different ball game, and some of the startups will be purchased, will be merged into bigger startups, and there will be some other acquisitions. I think that startup needs stability. It needs also vision. It needs to figure itself by himself what is the right direction and the right timing for itself to go or not to go to IPO or to collaborate with the bigger ones or the smaller ones. The latest examples from the US once Underhill signed a cooperation agreement with Palantir, and before that with Rheinmetall, and also cooperate with Boeing. We see there is a change in the rules of this kind of game, and we probably will see some different cultures that will be developed to different directions.
Thank you very much, Nir.
Thank you.